Hi friends, Krista here. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams. I am so glad that you are here today. We are going to be talking about some books that I'm bringing into my house. It's another book haul. I feel like it hasn't been that long since I did my last book haul, but in cleaning up things around the house and gathering some things, and I received a couple things in the mail. This is not quite as big as some of my other book hauls, but I do have a pile of books to show you, and some of them I'm very excited about. So we're going to start with the ones that were sent to me. Guys, one of you, I think, sent me this, Only the Beautiful by Susan Meisner. Holy cannoli. It's gorgeous and it's beautiful, and there is absolutely no note. It came in an Amazon package. One of you surprised me with this book. Who did it? Thank you so much, whoever you are. I'm so excited about this newest Susan Meisner book. She's one of my favorite historical fiction authors. I really love her. This one is a bit of a World War II story. We follow a young girl whose mom recently passed away, and she's taken in by the owners of the vineyard where they work. She's super lonely. I think she has synesthesia, where she sees colors and not just sounds, and ends up in her loneliness connecting with a boy from town and finds herself as a young, single, teenage, pregnant mom. The owners of the vineyard are not thrilled about this, and they send her away. She's banished to a home for unwed mothers, and she treasures her pregnancy as a chance for a future family. She soon finds out that she's going not to a home of any kind, but to a place far worse than anything she could have imagined. Yikes. But then a few years later, like 9 years later, the daughter of the vineyard owner and his wife comes home from Germany, where she saw firsthand Hitler and the Nazi party and things that were going on over there. She saw it all firsthand, comes home and discovers what her parents did, and she is not at all happy about it. I've heard that this is a beautiful story. I am very excited to read another Susan Meisner, and I would love to thank you, whoever you are that sent this to me. There honestly was nothing in the package that told me, so please let me know. Thank you very much. I'm very excited about that. Then another one that I'm very excited about came in this box. Can you guess what it is? I was so very excited when Avid Reader Press sent me an email and asked if I would be interested in receiving a copy of Drowning by TJ Newman. This is like going to be the thriller of the summer. So I hear. I have not yet read Falling by TJ Newman, but I've heard it's fabulous. She was a flight attendant before becoming an author. And so she has this kind of inside scoop as to the goings on in a plane. And Falling is about a plane crash, and Drowning is about a plane crash that happens in the ocean. And the plane goes down into the ocean, and it doesn't immediately fill up with water. So they're trying to survive while people on the outside are obviously also trying to help. We mainly follow this man and his ex-wife and their daughter. The man and the daughter are on the plane, and the wife is a diver engineer outside of the plane trying to rescue them. I've heard that it is edge of your seat, page turner, cannot stop. I can't wait to read this. It's honestly I have my June books sitting right here. It's going right in with my June books because I want to read this immediately. I kind of feel like I'm in the mood for a thriller, so I'm going to read that. It also came with these fun little treats. Let's see what these are. A nice little pouch here. Oh, you know what this is? This is a travel pillow, like one of those blow up neck pillows for the plane that you blow up and then put here so you can sleep or lean your head on it in front of you. And an eye mask that says Drowning. Very cool. Some travel accessories there. And then some earplugs as well, which are super handy. Honestly, I have a flight coming up in August, and these will all come in very handy. So I'm going to save that to use on my trip. And it all comes in a nice little pouch. So thank you so much, Avid Reader Press, for sending me this book. I cannot wait to read it and tell you guys about it because it just sounds phenomenal. Phenomenal. And then also I was sent these two gorgeous books by Catherine Butler. This is the Dream Keeper Saga, book 2 and book 3. I really need to get my hands on book 1 because look how beautiful that is. This is book 2 and it's The Prince and the Blight. And then this is book 3, Lost in the Caverns. Book 3 just came out in May. Man, they're just so pretty. And if you could feel them, they're not that buttery, but they have a really cool texture. I love it. So I really want to get my hands on book 1. So I have the complete set so far. But these are Christian YA fantasy or Christian middle grade fantasy. I'm not sure actually if they are YA or middle grade. But Catherine Butler herself is a doctor. She was a trauma surgeon, and now she's a writer and homeschooling mom. I mean, the backs of these are even gorgeous. Yeah, I'm really excited about a middle grade or YA fantasy that has a Christian worldview. So I think that those are going to be really nice to read. Just recently on my trip home to my mom's, I picked up 2 books at a thrift store. This one was a blind date with a book, and it's a book of poetry called Western Art by Deborah Gregor. And I love the cover of that. So beautiful. But she travels around, and it's going to talk about art and travels in her poems. And I'm just eager to try some more poetry and find what works for me and what doesn't work for me. So I picked that one up. And then I also grabbed a Christina Baker Klein, The Way Life Should Be. Honestly, didn't look at this at all. I just know I loved The Orphan Train and The Exiles by her. So why not grab another one that's in perfect condition? Why not? Let's see what it is though. Angela can feel the clock ticking. She is single in New York City, stuck in a job she doesn't want, in a life that seems to have somehow just happened. She inherited a flair for Italian cooking from her grandmother, but she never seems to have the time for it. These days, her oven holds only sweaters. Tacked to her office bulletin board is a photo from a magazine of a tidy cottage on the coast of Maine, a charming reminder of a life that could be hers if she could only muster the courage to go after it. And then she decides to pick up everything and move to Maine, finding the nudge she needs in the dating profile of a handsome sailor. All right, I think I'm going to love that. And then the rest of these I think I got from 2 different trips to 2nd and Charles. So they may have shown up in vlogs, but because I never actually put them in a haul, they've been sitting in the spot on my shelves where all my haul books go. So if you've seen these already, I apologize, but these all came from 2nd and Charles. So I picked up Rooftoppers by Catherine Rondell. The only thing I've read from her is her essay about why adults should read middle grade books. So I'm looking forward to reading some of her actual middle grade novels. On the morning of its first birthday, a baby was found floating in a cello case in the middle of the English Channel. Yes, please. I also picked up another middle grade by Jennifer A. Nielsen, who writes historical fiction. Middle grade, this one is called The Scourge, and it's about the Black Plague. A lethal plague sweeps through the land. Ani is shocked when she's unexpectedly captured by the governor's warden and forced to submit to a test for the deadly scourge. She is even more surprised when the test results come back positive and she's sent to Attic Island, a former prison turned refuge and quarantine colony for the ill. The scourge's victims, Ani now among them, can only expect to live out short, painful lives there. However, she quickly discovers that she doesn't know the whole truth about the scourge or the colony. She's been caught in a devious plot, and with the help of her best friend Weevil, Ani means to uncover just what is actually going on. But will she and Weevil survive the scourge and the governor's wardens long enough to make their escape and expose the cruel plan? That sounds really good. Really good. Is it about the Black Plague? Now it sounds a little bit more fantasy, but I don't know. I picked up T. Greenwood, The Golden Hour. This is an author I really want to read more from. I think I have 4 books now on my shelves. This one is going to take place in New Hampshire. 13-year-old Wynne took a shortcut through the woods and she became a cautionary tale. Now, 20 years later, she lives in New York on the opposite side of a duplex from her ex, with their 4-year-old daughter shuttling back and forth between them. She makes a living painting for clients now, and then the man, Robbie, who has spent the past 2 decades in prison for a terrible crime against her, may be released based on new DNA evidence unless she breaks her silence about that afternoon. Oof. It's going to be good. Jennifer Robson, Good Night from London. I'm excited to read another Jennifer Robson book. I really loved the Gown by her. This one is World War II, summer of 1940. American journalist gets her big break, a chance to report on the European War as a staff writer for Picture Weekly magazine in London. And then it's during the Blitz of London. And apparently there's going to be some romance. Another middle grade that was popular during middle grade March this year is Rain, Rain by Anne M. Martin. This is going to be about a child with autism. Rose Howard is obsessed with homonyms. She is thrilled with that. She's thrilled that her name is a homonym, and she purposely gave her dog Rain a name with 2 homonyms, Rain and Rain. And then a storm hits their town, and roads are flooded, and Rain, the dog, goes missing. So, neurodivergent character there that I'm looking forward to. I've heard some good things about that one. We have, I think this is going to be a Christmas book exchange book. And so is that. And so is that. So I can't show you those 3. And then the last one that I picked up is Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. I believe this is about a kind of magical place called Elantris that is like this place of light and glory and magic and power. And people could be taken from their homes and made into a person who lives in Elantris, which are kind of almost godlike creatures. They glow themselves, but there's an entity called the Shroud. The Shroud could take beggar, craftsman, nobleman, or warrior. When it came, the fortunate person's life ended and began anew. He would discard his old, mundane existence and move to Elantris, where he could live in bliss, rule in wisdom, and be worshipped for eternity. Eternity ended 10 years ago. I love that line. Eternity ended 10 years ago. What happened 10 years ago? I just finished Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson not that long ago, and I really want to read more from him. I loved the Mistborn trilogy. This is a standalone. Why not add it to my shelves when you can find it for $2 at a yard sale? So here is my small-ish little book haul, little bonus haul here. Please let me know if you're the one who sent me Only the Beautiful. Let me know if you've read any of these. What do you think about them? Let's chat in the comments below. I always love talking with you down there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and spending some time with me today and supporting my channel in multiple different ways. I really appreciate you, and I look forward to talking with you in another video very soon. Bye.